what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. First of all, before I get started, I want to wish all of you a happy Saturday. I hope you motherfuckers had a good ass time last night, as is your want, right? If you're listening to me from jail, I hope you had a really good time last night. So, family, I want to just say, first of all, before I get into this thing, I just want to thank you all for the support, right? For the love and the support. You definitely are sharing this on social media, via Twitter, via Facebook. I can see your efforts coming to fruition. While we didn't meet our goal of 100 subs for January, I know that we'll hit 100 sometime here in the next month or so, right? I do have a goal of 1,000 subs by June, and the only way I can get there, the only way we can get there is if we put into work, right? So make sure that if you're watching, give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Peace, Dave. Welcome to the broadcast, brother. Glad to have you as always. So today on Sucka-Free Saturday, we gonna get into some real positive shit because it just to be quite frank with you, this was quite a few different topics I wanted to discuss this week, but with the advent of some degree of messery, fuckery, whatever you want to call it, I just didn't get a chance to because, first of all, I wouldn't have had no eyes. So now that some of this stuff is starting to blow over, and again, I'm not giving it no more airspace, no more time than as required, right? We can actually start talking about some real fucking subjects again, all right? So today on Sucka-Free Saturday, we're going to talk about black politics. That's right, my niggas. We are going to be talking about black political acumen. I'm going to talk about really positive things right now, really good things. Because I can see that there has been awakening amongst our people, family. There has been an awakening, right? And we need to talk about it. We need to give propers what propers is due. We have so many that come on and burn us on a constant basis talking about our fuckery and our messed upness. But your man Mark Black wants to give a shout out to black folk today because we are seeing the evidence of what appears to be, what could be the advent of a new black political acumen, a new wave of thinking when it comes to black politics. I'm going to run it down for you what we're seeing. And then I'm going to offer some additional things that I think that could be really, really good. All right? So, first, unfortunately, I got to talk about the past a little bit. All right? Because let's face facts. For all of the craziness about our ancestors fighting for us to have the right to vote, fighting and bleeding and dying for us to have the right to vote, black people ain't really used our political power to serve ourselves in any real good stead. I mean, if you could, you don't even have to go back that far, family. You could just go back as far as the 90s with the election of the first black president of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton. You know, that was black folk that called this motherfucker that, by the way. That was us. And we loved us some Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the Oval Office, he had no more ardent defenders than black folk. Facts. We was right there by his side. We campaigned hard for William Jefferson Clinton, especially after 4 years of senior Bush, right? Not to be confused with his son Shrub. You know, Herbert Walker, the archdevil himself, may he burn, right? We was willing to vote for any motherfucking body that would talk even remotely nice to us, all right? So, we haven't necessarily used our political power in a way that serves us. What we got now in hindsight from the advent of William Jefferson Clinton is we had the explosion of the drug war, which disproportionately, primarily affected our people. We had the explosion of the mass incarceration system, right? With the three strikes laws on the federal level and the subsequent advent of the three strikes laws on the state level. We had the elimination of welfare benefits and entitlements as we know it from AFDC to TANF. We had changes in the distribution of the food stamp program. We experienced more fuckery at the hands of William Jefferson Clinton and his merry band of Democratic thieves than we had under the previous 2-3 administrations before him. We have not been using our political power to serve us in any good stead. Some of us said fuck Bill Clinton after the 90s, and we voted for Shrub. And I'll be honest with you, seeing the level of politician that has taken the office of president since Shrub, I actually missed that motherfucker. Yeah, I said it. Shrub might have been a dumbass in some ways. Although I would argue that no man gets to be president and be a complete dumbass, right? But Shrub was not the sharpest tack in the box. But Shrub understood one thing that it seems like got lost with Snowbama and Trump, Imperator Trump the First, is that in times of crisis, put your focus on the people and they'll carry you through. Think about all the ill shit that happened under Shrub's presidency. And think about how bad it could have actually been had he not found ways to win the respect, at least, the deference of the people. When we were attacked on 9/11, Shrub saw the economy take a shit. So did he go and try to bail out the banks, these large financial institutions? Nope. Shrub cut everybody checks for $300. Not a lot of bread. But how many of you motherfuckers that year when that refund came back was able to pay a bill you hadn't been able to pay in ages? Was able to keep the motherfucking lights on? Who filled your refrigerator with food? Shrub fucked Katrina up. No doubt. But how many of you recognize or realize that niggas like Ray Nagin, you know, the mayor of New Orleans, helped sell out all of our people in the 7th and 9th wards down there, who subsequently gave contract after contract after contract to rebuild the city to white contractors? That wasn't Shrub that did that. It wasn't Shrub that forced black people to live all over the motherfucking country when New Orleans was their home area, where their ancestors' bones up until the flood was buried. That was niggas. Or specifically, Ray Nagin's nigga ass. Again, not using our political power to serve us in any good stead. Sure, here and there, we've elected black leaders and then sat back and said, woo, we did the hard work. He's in there. We made it. And this is how we got lousy motherfuckers like Kwame Kilpatrick. You know, the motherfucker who's currently doing time, crooked than a motherfucker. This is how we got motherfuckers like Willie Brown. Even the best among our black politicians ain't been saints. Shout out to our esteemed brother Marion Barry. May he rest. We haven't used our political power to serve us in good stead. We had a no-name Joe Schmo. Willie Brown was mayor of Los Angeles, Dave. Don't worry, he's still important. Because one of the candidates running for office now, currently on the Democratic side, used to be a side piece for this motherfucker. I can't make this shit up. Let me tell y'all a story. In 2003, the Democrats, just like they do every season prior to an election, had a convention. And at this convention, they and their delegates there voted to see who would be the candidate for the Democrats during the 2004 election cycle. That's right, Dave. Don't worry, I'll touch on her. Now, any of you who follow politics, and I would argue that if you black and you don't follow politics, you fucking up. Any of those of you who know about politics knows one important thing. At the end of each convention, there is a speech that's given, a keynote speech that is given, usually by somebody who is up and coming, on the rise, or somebody solidly established in the party. So wasn't it strange that at the National Democratic Convention of 2003, a no-name nobody, a community organizer by the name of Barack Hussein Obama was slated to give the motherfucking keynote speech at the Democratic Convention? Wasn't that, anybody who followed politics, wasn't that strange to you? That this nobody, that would be like the equivalent of somebody picking me to give a national address on some shit. I'm a nobody. So why would they pick me? Well, we got shades of why they picked him. Because in 2004, he ran for the Senate from Illinois. The junior senator from Illinois. And was elected. Now, this no-name community organizer was elected junior senator from the great state of Illinois. Shout out to all my people in Illinois. As a senator, your term of service is 6 years. So why then in 2008 do you have this junior senator who hasn't been the sponsor of any major legislation in this country, who barely has any political standing acumen whatsoever, decide all of a sudden that he'd think he'd make a good-ass president? And he throws his hat into the ring. And he's going up against some cold ones. Mike Gravel, longtime standing progressive Democrat. Hillary Clinton. The arch bitch herself, a.k.a. super predator and sniper fire. But who has some degree of acumen in governing, right? And this no-name motherfucker comes out of nowhere. After 8 years of shrug, decides he's going to run for president. And family, niggas lost their motherfucking minds. Here's this big, tall drink of water who like to play basketball and shake hands with Jay-Z. Shout out to the master teacher and the brother elder BGS. Welcome to the broadcast. Obama was every nigga's dream, it seemed like. Oh, those swelling and sweeping cadences when this brother would speak on topics of change in America, new day dawning in America. Shades of our brother Martin Luther King, may he rest. We love this motherfucker. Now, mind you, that had you paid any degree of attention, you would have seen some problems with this candidate right from the get-go. You would have seen the fact that, strangely enough, he never really seemed to talk about black people all that much. Like, when he was asked about what he intends to do as president, that would be directly to the benefit of black folk, Barack Obama was slated to have said, I am not the president of black America. I'm looking to be the president of America. And that, of course, was just one of many problematic things. However, because we had not developed any political acumen, and all of the sheepdogs on the Democratic side, such as Al Sharpton, in the media, Roly Martin, and others, have a vested interest in ensuring that you don't develop any political acumen. We bought into a lot of high-flung rhetoric. It sounded real good. And on Inauguration Day, we felt as if we were being put into the office of the President of the United States. You know my favorite part of Barack Obama's presidency? My most favorite thing about his presidency was the excuses that black people made for why Barack Obama wasn't doing shit to benefit black people. In his first term, oh man, the excuses were fucking amazing. They were great. See, brother, now that he's in there, now he's the man, right? He's going to go in there and just change the whole game up. So then midterms come and the Republicans come into office. Even though he had a full half of his term with the Democratic Congress, he could have basically had anything he wanted rubber stamped. Nothing came out for black people. When the midterms came and the Republicans were put into power in the House and the Senate, then the excuse turned into, well, see, these Republicans is going against the stuff that he really want to do. They're not letting him put forward his agenda for black folk. Okay, fast forward to 2012. Barack Obama is reelected. Oh, my nigga. Now that he's in his second term, he is not going to give no fucks. He's going in there full-throated, full bore. And he's unleashing both barrels on these crackers. And we finally gonna get our due. And as we watched him do stupid shit like reduce the sentencing disparity for crack cocaine convictions from 100 to 1 to 19 to 1. Good job, Barack Obama. and give us lectures at every turn about our moral base and our lack of structure in the black community. Not anything he was planning to do to help with that, but, it sound good. He slowly and surely just petered the fuck out. And so in 2016, we ended up with Imperator Trump the First. The backlash against this socialist Kenyan whatevs. Again, not using our political power to serve ourselves in good stead. Which brings us to today. To 2019. And I have to say, black people, that I'm proud of you motherfuckers. Because in 2018, you had more of an effect on elections across the country than you ever had. And what was the crazy part about it is that you had that influence in spite of sheepdogs and gatekeepers that are designed to herd you motherfuckers into the party line. In spite of the fact of people attempting to shame you by using the bodies of our dead, both recent and ancestral, and so on. You, my esteemed brethren and sisterin, have started to make the leap to becoming some politically bad motherfuckers. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. I gotta give props where props are due. Spec due to my people. Shout out to black people. Because we are seeing a sea change in how we do politics. Facts, Miss Denny. When that nigga talked about Trayvon, oh man, he said if Trayvon was still alive, he would be 23 and would have voted. How do we know that? Why throw Trayvon's name up in it in the first place? To try to get y'all off y'all's political game and have you operating in your emotions like they always want you to. But my people, for the first time in my motherfucking lifetime, are doing me proud. Because y'all are starting to play some serious political hardball. Let me talk to you about Sister Yvette Carnell and Brother Antonio Moore, also known as Tone Talks. These two have been banging. And they have not been the only ones, just some of the names you might be familiar with. But they have been banging on the drum of addressing the disparity, the racial wealth gap that exists as a function of our mass disenfranchisement and loss of capital accumulation during slavery, during Jim Crow, through the use of redlining, through the use of mass incarceration, and so on and so forth. These two have been among many who have been instrumental in changing the entire narrative about how black folk in America do politics. Because another thing that these two have been pushing, and they have not been the only ones, okay? So if I haven't named your pet advocate, get out your feelings. There are many. But these people have been pushing for the descendants of slaves to organize ourselves around and look to our interests based off of our lineage. To understand that we have a unique and distinct claim and place in this country as the descendants of the chattel slaves. These two have been at the forefront of that movement. And they are changing the narrative. You have people now who openly question even the most hallowed of black folk in the black community. That's black entertainers. Motherfuckers like Issa Rae can't just get on Twitter and say whatever the fuck she feels like as a Nigerian of Nigerian immigrant stock about black people, and we just go, oh, Kiki, that girl's so funny. No! We be like, wait a minute, bitch, who you? How you gonna speak to us in our experience and you not descended of slaves here? How you gonna claim to be our voice, speaking with our mouth, when you don't share our experience? That's number one. That's number one among the things that's going to start helping us win in this political environment, is the fact that we, many of us, not nearly enough, but many of us, are starting to come around the fact that everybody plays identity politics and we need to play it too. We can't keep wanting to align ourselves with everybody else's political agendas and programs and platforms, hoping that what benefits they get dribble down to us. No. We are, for the first time, probably ever, but at least in a very long time, seeing our collective interests as tied to our lineage as a distinct and unique American group. That's the first thing I'm proud of you motherfuckers about. I'm proud as and pleased as punch right now with black folk because of this. This is truly a game changer, family. Truly. The descendants of slaves taking our rightful place and upholding the honor and the legacy of our distinct lineage is a game changer. For so long, we've allowed aspiration to run us away from the reality of black descendant of slave existence in Fortress America. And many of us are choosing not to do that. We are starting to ask some real hard motherfucking questions. And I could not be more pleased with you black people. Could not be more pleased. The second thing that is just sending me to heights of ecstasy is that for the first time in fucking forever, it feels like, black people are focusing on the things that really matter in politics. We ain't on no, oh, she like Beyonce? That's what's up. I like Beyonce too. Oh, she pledged AKA? That's my soror ski wee. Oh, we ain't on that shit no more. Oh, he married to a black woman and she a beautiful, tall drink of water. Woo, look at Michelle. Woo, girl. Hell yeah. I'm voting for him. We ain't on that no more. Cardi B, Beyonce, I don't give a fuck. Black people ain't on that shit no more. Okay, that's cool that you like to, get your motherfucking swerve on to some Cardi B. Now let's talk about your record as the Attorney General in California for a second, shall we? Oh, it's cool you wear the pink and green, sister. Ski-wee. But let's address your unwillingness to allow prisoners that qualify for early release to be released from prison. Let's talk about that for a second. Girl, Kamala, you know I love your hair. It is really yours too. Girl, you know you so pretty. Now let's talk about the fact that you was appointed to 2 positions after sleeping with the motherfucking mayor. or the governor. I forget. I think Willie was the governor or mayor. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember all that shit. Let's talk about the potential fact that you may have fucked your way to the top of California politics. You know who's asking those questions? It ain't them white folks. It's you, black people. And I could not be more fucking proud. I could not be more proud. We not waiting on CNN to ask these motherfucking questions. We definitely are not waiting on the so-called black media to ask these motherfucking questions. It is you. It is you, my esteemed brethren and sisterin, who are bringing some motherfucking well-needed sunshine to some of these crooked motherfuckers' asses. And I could not be more proud. It is you. It is you who are bringing up the fact that the reason why she wouldn't let prisoners out of prison is because they need the prison labor. It is you who are talking about the fact that while she let Steve Mnuchin's ass get away with basically financial murder over there in California, she was locking up black people because their kids was failing to attend school regularly. It is you who is taking this bitch Kamala Harris to task, who are no more playing this bullshit where, oh, she look like us, she dance like us, she talk like us, she's on that Wakanda shit. Oh, she must be the candidate. No. Y'all are tearing that ass up. Y'all are going so hard in the motherfucking paint on this candidate, making her answer so hard-ass questions that even white folks are having to do damage control. I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more proud of you, black folk. You got Cory Booker now who done threw his hat in the race. And already the questions are starting to fly about his connections to Big Pharma. Right? And all of the other, record historical based shit that he's been involved in as a corporate Democrat who's now trying to portray hope, love, and peace and tilt a little bit to the left during his campaign. It is black people that have been at the forefront of asking these motherfuckers some real hard questions. One of which is, what you gonna do for us? What's your black agenda? Yeah, black folk, I think you have finally gotten tired of being classified as people of color. I think you have finally gotten sick of being classified with minorities as you watch every other special interest, which just simply means people who identify as a certain thing. So identity politics. You've watched every other special interest group get whatever the fuck they want from the government. Except you. You who have been the most loyal. You who have followed all the rules. You who pay taxes. You who have fought, bled, and died to be here. You whose ancestors and your own labor works to continue to build, maintain, and sustain this country are no longer satisfied with fucking symbolism. It don't matter what a candidate eat or don't eat. It don't matter if they use hot sauce or not. It don't matter if they can dance the wobble or not. It don't matter what fraternity or sorority they pledged or not. It don't matter. Because if they're not talking about tangibles, shit that black people can lay their hands on as a direct benefit for them and them alone, there's some motherfuckers that's facing some serious heat. Kamala, however the fuck you pronounce her name, Harris, is finding out that she is attempting to ride a wave that no longer exists. She's finding out that in the era of black people identifying themselves with their unique and distinct heritage and lineage, that she can't come into this country and put on our fucking culture, put on our identity as a cloak and think it's going to get her somewhere. You Indian and Jamaican, sweetheart. Great. Who you? What you know about my heritage, about my lineage, about the effects of my distinct heritage and history in this country? What you know about that? And what you know about it? What do you plan to do about it? Oh, the questions is flying fast and furious. And Cory Booker's going to get the same treatment because he is DOS as far as I know. But simply because he's DOS doesn't give his ass a pass. No, we did that under Barack Obama. We did that under Barack Obama. We said, fuck it. Give us R1 and we'll shut the fuck up. For 8 years, black polity was silent. As this smooth, slick-talking motherfucker continued to work to decimate our community. We ain't stupid. We held that L. We took that L. We ain't taking no more. Nope. The hashtag, shout out to hashtag Tangibles 2020. Shout out to hashtag What Have You Done For Me Lately. I couldn't be more proud of you, family. I could not be more proud. For whatever my pride, my esteem in you means, I hope it gives you that juice that you need to continue on this path. Make these motherfuckers bring your agenda to the table. You have all the tools necessary to do it. We have a presence on Twitter. We have a presence in social media. You have one of the candidates that has been on Twitter since the inception of Twitter. Got an inside tip from somebody who helped develop Twitter. Cory Booker's been on Twitter forever. He's responsive to Twitter. Cory Booker has gone out and helped people in his constituency based off of messages that have been tweeted to him on Twitter. So what do you think's going to happen with 50,000 black men and women organized together to ask him some hard motherfucking questions about what his platform, his agenda is going to be specifically for the descendants of slaves in America? When his handlers say, wait a minute, hashtag Cory Booker Black Agenda is trending on Twitter with 50,000 mentions. Oh shit. What are we going to do? Right? Family, you are holding right now in the palm of your hand, and that little pocket computer, that smartphone, all of the tools and weapons you need moving forward to wage some serious political battle. And you're not only seeing that, but you're doing it. Miss Denny said black and brown, no thanks. Facts. Facts. It's just us. We don't give a fuck about no Standing Rock. We don't give a fuck about no more immigration bullshit. You know, Kamala Harris was reported to have said that she's going to see the United States be like California. California has sanctuary cities where illegal immigration all of a sudden ain't illegal no more. That what you want in your neighborhood? That's what you want in your communities, in your cities? I think for that alone, the bitch should be pilloried. Oh, but there's a whole host of things now that black people are starting to see that are a part of our political agenda. Yeah, guess what? Marianne Williamson dropped the R-bomb. Now, granted, her mention of it was woefully inadequate. And I do mean woefully inadequate, numerically speaking. But yes, Marianne Williamson dropped the R-bomb. She dropped reparations on the motherfucking table. Now, let's face facts, family. If you didn't hear it anywhere else, you're going to hear it here. Marianne Williamson is a long shot for the nomination on the Democratic side of the House. The odds are not in her favor. However, how sweet it is that one of the motherfucking D's put reparations on the table. How far can we run with that ball? Bing, bang, boom. The ball's on you, black folk. How bad do you want it? How many of these politicians' feet are you willing to press to the motherfucking hot ass coals and say, see, it's going to be reparations, right? It's going to be the end of the mass incarceration system on a federal, state, and local level, right? It is going to be job programs and remediation for our brothers coming out of the prison system, right? Family, you live in one of the most unique and awesome times to be involved in black politics. It's time to take advantage. It's time to take advantage. It's time to take advantage. Continue to bring light to their records. Fuck their persons. Fuck what they look like. Fuck what they talk like or dance like. None of that shit matters. Keep shining a light on their record, on their agenda, on their policies that they've supported, on the things that they've stood against. That, my dear beloved family, is political maturity. That is us actually engaging in the political game. But that's not all. Use the tools that you have available to you to bring the heat. Brothers, I'm talking to you right now, black men. Because let's face facts. And I don't give a fuck who this offends. We let black women decide this election, and we're going to get Kamala Harris. Why? Not because she got any good policies. Not because her record has shown clearly and demonstrably that she backs and supports black folk. We're going to get her because she's a female. And it's their turn. So, brothers, let me holler at you for a second. I keep telling you over and over again, black man, that when winter comes, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. Y'all need to stop fucking around this year and start organizing together. You could do it quietly or you could do it loudly. I don't give a fuck. But grab the black man next to you and make sure that each one of you are up on the records, the legislative history, the agenda, the platform of all of these candidates, white or black. Don't fall into this stupid trap of thinking now that y'all done talked about the black ones that the white ones get a pass. No. Because some of them might actually be willing to uphold an agenda for you if you come at them correctly. Brothers, I challenge you to organize in political groups, political action groups. We can organize for the most inane shit, when this is the most important thing that we as black men could be operating and doing. So let's do it, brothers. Let us take the charge. Let us take the leadership in vetting these motherfuckers and reviewing every bit of minutia about their lives to ensure that if they have a hope in hell of getting our political support, that they had better bring some goddamn tangibles to the table. That they have to come and speak to us, about us, for us, with us. Don't leave this one up to sisters and simps. Otherwise, we're going to end up with another 4 to 8 years of fuckery. But it looked good. No, brothers. No. I am challenging you as your brother, as one who loves you, to organize with me. Organize with the brothers around you. Grab your brother by the hand. Fuck all that no homo shit. Grab your man by his hand. And you get together and y'all chop it. Y'all chop it up. Damn, brother, you heard about that Kamala Harris chick? Let me run it down to you, man. For real, my nigga? That's how she... Yeah, we need to go and let old dude know about this one. Hey, man, that cat Cory Booker's talking about some sort of baby bond thing. I wonder where he got that idea from. Yo, I heard that come from a brother named Sandy Darity. Let's go see what he's saying about the baby bond issue. Y'all need to be getting together and studying every fucking word, every action that these people have taken and are likely to take in the future. Do not leave our political future in the hands of those folk who have consistently worked to ensure that we don't have an iceberg's chance in hell of success. It's our turn, black man. It's our turn. They keep trying to squelch our voice. They keep trying to tell us we don't have a seat at the motherfucking table. Well, I can tell you as a black man, I don't ask for my seat at the table. I walk up to that motherfucker and I sit down and I dare you to move me the hell out of here. It's our turn, black man. It's our turn. You need to be getting with your brothers. And we all need to be getting with each other. And politically, we need to all be speaking with the same voice. Facts. We not going to all think the same way. But there are common agenda points that no matter what your brother's religion is, or no matter what your brother's sexual preference is, or no matter how many kids your brother got or don't got, or no matter his social economic class, that we can all organize and get behind. It is time for us, brothers, politically, to get in there and do goddamn work. It is time. We are poised, black men, for an explosion of black political acumen unlike this country has ever seen. In your and my hands, dear, esteemed brothers, the greatest power our people could ever wield in this country is being delivered unto you. And all you have to do is lose your fear. Turn to your brother with a spirit of trust and not suspicion. Grab his hand and start talking to each other. Get together and analyze these motherfuckers like you break down the NBA draft. You should be knowing the ins and outs of each of your draftees, whether it's Marianne Williamson, whether it's Cory Booker, whether it's Kamala Harris, whether it's Elizabeth Warren. Look at these motherfuckers just like you would analyze draft picks. Break them down on their measurables. And then, with that knowledge in mind, let us work to push forward our agenda, where we work to start strengthening the black family again, where we work to rein in some of the excesses of our fucking gynocracy that's putting us all in the mud, where we work to ensure that we get our historic and well-deserved due from this country, where the opportunities that exist isn't given to fucking immigrants no more. It's given to us. Brothers, we need to be getting in front of these politicians' faces and demanding our spots at the police academies, demanding our spots in the motherfucking firefighters' academies, demanding our spots in the military, just demanding our spots in the government. And we need to grab these motherfuckers up and walk them right over to the coals and put their feet right next to that motherfucker and hold them there. We need to be political bullies, telling not just the people of the United States what we want and demanding it, but telling black people in general what we want and demanding it. That's us. It's our turn. And brothers, before I finish this broadcast, I want to leave you with one other idea. I'm not certain if we're ready for it just yet. There's still a lot of distrust amongst us. There's a lot of niggas afraid that they getting pocket watched, right? Because we'll fuck with each other as long as we ain't talking about no money involved. So I don't know if this idea is an idea that we're ready for. But it's an idea that we should have been doing for the longest time and we haven't done. My dear esteemed brothers, I want you with me to consider the idea of organizing the very first and only Black Super PAC that we are putting funds in, that we are now using to leverage our social capital with the politicians that we buy. This is not a new idea. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson, who's been advocating for this shit forever. But brothers, I think it's our time. I truly believe that the time of suspicion and eyeballing your brother with the mind that he's looking to take you off or fuck you is over. We both are facing the shark. We ain't got time to be arguing about, oh, I should make sure this nigga get it first. How about y'all find a way so that both of you survive the shark attack? How about you put aside your distrust of your brother, your unwillingness to contribute resources with other black men, and perhaps work with somebody like me to organize the very first and only Black Super PAC. We might not be able to get that done in this election cycle. We may not be ready for that idea. But I can tell you for a fact, brothers and sisters, that we are doing well now. But it's time to take our political fight, our political game to the next level. We're doing very well collectively, family, so far, with putting these people's agendas, their records, their ideas, what they espouse, what they don't espouse, putting that out there in the public sphere and talking about that. Brothers, I want you to commit with me today on this fine sucker-free ass Saturday to get with other black men and talk shop. And I'm not talking about the NBA draft. I'm not talking about the NFL draft. I'm talking about the political draft. Know your motherfucking candidates frontwards and backwards. And make sure you not only know, but your brother knows. And let us get together on every forum that we have available. You have mine. So if you want to talk about something political, hit me up. You have Angry Man. You have the Elder BGS. You have the Brother Cerulean. You have so many different platforms on YouTube alone. You have Facebook. You have Twitter. Get with your brothers and let's work to get together. Let's just get 3 solid things. Just 3. We don't need a whole heap and gob of an agenda. Let's get 3 fucking things that we all can ride behind. That if one brother says, okay, brothers, we need 50,000 motherfuckers on Twitter right now to trend this hashtag talking about reparations, that it can happen. Brothers, I need 100,000 brothers right now on Facebook, making sure that ending mass incarceration is trending. And it can happen. The next step for us, brothers, is to organize. To see, we already are starting to see our collective interest in each other. Kudos to you. Hats off. Spec due. We're already starting to see that our lineage is important too. Again, all respect due. We're starting to ask the real hard questions. And that's what the fuck I'm talking about. So what's our next steps, brothers and the sisters who want to come along for the ride? Is we need to organize. We have to start getting together in numbers and not just talking about it ultimately, but being about it. We got to put aside our distrust of brothers handling each other's money. And we need to start putting checks in front of these politicians. I guarantee you, brothers, you take somebody like Cory Booker and you invite him to give a talk, and you got 100 black men in that room, and all of us done laid down $10,000 a piece. So we writing Cory Booker a check for $1 million. He gonna have to listen to what the fuck you got to say. Especially when there's intimations that there's more where that came from, but there's also pain where that came from. Because just like we giving you this money, we can give it to somebody else. That's taking our political game to the next level, brothers and sisters. That's stepping our game up. We've made some great political strides. I'm impressed with the political acumen many of us are starting to show. I could not be more proud. Now, I'm not asking you to do less. I'm asking you to do more. I'm asking you, brothers, especially, to start grabbing the hand of your brothers and making sure that what you know politically, he knows. I don't give a fuck if you have to take a stick and draw it in the dirt for your brother. Do it. I don't care if you gotta create a fucking PowerPoint. Do it. I don't care if you gotta sit there and tell that nigga, yes, she locked black people the fuck up until it just sinks into his head. Do it. Each one grab one and teach one. And let them grab more and teach more. Start having political action meetings and groups. Coordinate with brothers that have platforms that are willing to let you speak. Grab these politicians by the throat on social media and drag their ass kicking and screaming to a black fire that you're going to take off their socks and shoes and hold their feet to. And in 2020, 2024, 2028, we better start discussing the need for a black super PAC. We better actually stop discussing it and start instituting it. We got to start throwing some skin in the motherfucking political game. I guarantee you, my brothers, that you're going to gain more than you lose with this strategy. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. And until the next time I see you, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.